streaming now. Download our app on your smart TV, Roku, Apple TV, and more.
So I first learned about True Freedom Ministry probably about a decade ago now. One of my colleagues was involved with the organization. And I remember hearing about their ministry with the homeless and the work they were doing with the incarcerated. And it's something that really struck me as an area where there's a real opportunity to make change. I think about my involvement in a number of different organizations, charities, et cetera, that we give to. And it's easy and it feels really good to pour into things like trying to cure cancer or digging more wells in Africa or helping underprivileged kids get scholarships to go into college. And there's a lot of noble, worthy causes out there. But it felt like, I'm a Northeastern Ohioer from Cleveland, born and raised, and you look around the city and you say, I want to make an impact right here. And there's work that needs to be done. There's a homeless issue, there is a incarceration and a job issue, and what can we do to make our community better? And that's something that resonated with me and drew me into this organization.
Very cool. Tell me a little bit about your role and your involvement with the ministry now.
So my role with the ministry is I'm on the board of Prospera, and Prospera is a partner organization with True Freedom Ministries, and our focus is on workforce empowerment and helping folks who are incarcerated or formerly incarcerated find jobs. There's a lot of interesting stats on the recidivism rate in this country as well as in the area, and it's about I think the numbers were something like 21,000 people each year are coming back to Ohio that were formerly incarcerated, and something like 14,000 of them will be reincarcerated within 3 years. And without having a job, that recidivism rate, I think, jumps to something like 90%. The key to impacting that is it's motivational, but it's also giving these individuals the tools they need to have an opportunity and give them the best chance at re-assimilating into society and having a fulfilling, purposeful career.
That's awesome. How do you describe the vision or the mission or the heartbeat of True Freedom Ministries?
The heartbeat of the organization is one that's very much volunteer-led, and I think that speaks to the buy-in around here. When you look at grading an organization from a charitable perspective, like A, what is the good they're doing, but B, I think efficiency matters too. And it's something like for every 1 hour of staff time, we have about 30 hours of volunteer time in this organization. So, that's how I think impact grows logarithmically, is when you can get a much broader impact than even the staff that you're supporting. And then additionally, for every $1 that the organization raises, 94 cents of it is going directly to the front lines to impact folks. So, those efficiency metrics speak to the operation that is ran here, and it's really a purpose, mission-led organization, which I'm fully on board with.
That's awesome. How is the Lord using True Freedom Ministries to share the gospel? Talk about evangelism efforts.
I think that there's two sides of the organization. One is True Freedom, and it really is about getting a heart transformation for folks, which can transform their lives, and that's through the power of Christ. There's a lot of work with the homeless, a lot of work with folks in prison, and helping them assess where they are, where they want to go, and how God might be part of that journey to transform their lives and end up in a better place. The other side of the organization, Prospera, is more focused just on the workforce training and development. And I do think that the two go hand in hand, though. The true freedom efforts of building into people and creating a great pool of eligible candidates to go find jobs. They work in close, mutually beneficial for sure.
Yeah. So discipleship, Jesus said, make disciples. How are you guys making disciples?
Well, I think Mike, David Wessel, Mark, the whole team spends a lot of time, in prison and really building into folks from a Bible study perspective. I've been in prison a number of times with them, seeing the crew in action, and it's really remarkable how well the incarcerated folks respond to the programming, the curriculum, and more importantly, you can tell they're looking for community alongside others that are trying to better themselves, but they really do appreciate how much Mike and David and Mark are giving and building in, and I think that that it's really them following the call of God to go make disciples that they're clearly doing a great job of.
That's good. How can people get involved and support True Freedom Ministries?
Yeah, so there's lots of ways that folks can get involved. Right now, there's lots of talk in the national media about this issue, that issue, politics, race, and I think what's special about True Freedom is it sets a lot of that aside and just says we're going to go make a difference in people's lives and work for a heart transformation. So I think that if that's something that you buy into, there's lots of ways to get involved from a volunteer perspective. Go into prison with the crew and seeing what life is like on the other side is certainly an eye-opening experience. And I think it gives you an appreciation for the hurdles and challenges that this group of people are up against. I can speak for myself, having been in there. It's it really moves you, and I think that from that tug on your heart, you'll find yourself wanting to become more involved, giving of your time, giving of your resources. There's lots of financial needs across the organization. There's lots of volunteer needs across the organization, and I think it really depends where you felt led to give.
Awesome. Prayer support, financial prayer support, obviously spiritual warfare. Talk about the importance of praying for you guys, praying for these inmates, even the folks that work in the prison. Yeah.
I think that the opportunity for prayer is quite vast. It's the only way that this organization thrives is, people's hearts are transformed, and that's we can do the in and out of programming and setting up and job training and transportation. But at the end of the day, if folks' hearts aren't in it and being changed, our impact will be limited. So I think that's where prayer comes in. It's us trying to align ourselves with the will of God and pray that He works in people's heart and changes them. We all have areas in our life that we need prayer for, and not just prayers for the folks that we're investing in building into, but prayers for the staff, prayers for the board members, prayers for everybody involved, and everybody that's a part of this organization are always welcomed.
Very cool. So why do you do what you do? What gets you up in the morning?
I was fortunate to be born into a really solid family. I had a great upbringing and was in a nice community and had a lot of resources and opportunity. And I realize not everybody has that. While I'm immensely grateful for the background that I had, I'm looking to try to impact others who maybe are a little bit less fortunate and didn't have the same footing early on. And life is difficult. There's always bumps in the road, and it's how you respond to those bumps. Everybody deserves a second, sometimes a third chance. And I love the opportunity for folks who have veered off of course, but want to course correct and improve and better themselves. And there was probably a variety of scenarios, circumstances that led to where they are. But it really says a lot about who you are, that after that has occurred and transpired, where you go from there. And I think seeing people who can make that 180 and turn things around for the better, that's really inspiring. So I do it because I think it's the right thing to do, and we're called to build into those in these difficult situations. But also, it's really gratifying when you see, you go to the banquet each year and hear these success stories, see people who have completely transformed their lives, are finding purpose in a job, are active member of their community and their church oftentimes, starting a family, reconnected with a family. You see something that was broken that is being rebuilt, and I think that's what we're wired to long for. So it's really inspiring to be a part of an organization that helps do that. Awesome.
Final question, is there anything else the Lord put on your heart to share with us today before we wrap it up?
I think I think having spent a little bit of time in prison, you look at individuals who feel left behind and who feel hopelessness, and I think that really is the message of the gospel, which is when you realize you're broken, that's when God can really work in your heart. And seeing the work that Mike and his team do to bring that message of hope for folks who feel broken is really beautiful. And I think it's loving individuals like Jesus would, and I'm just happy to be a part of an organization that is focused on that.
Overcomers TV, streaming now. Download our app on